and welcome to my channel. So today I'm doing the colouring habits tag. I was tagged by Yanni at Yar Colouring, and this was a tag that was originated by Sassy Coloring, so I will leave links to both of those ladies' channels below if you want to check them out, and also their videos on their colouring habits. But basically it's 10 questions, and I love tags like these because this is how you kind of get to know people a bit better without it being like, you know, direct straight questions. It's just like, it's a chance for people like me to have a little ramble while I'm colouring. So today I'm going to be colouring from Ivy and Inky Butterfly. This is a first for me. I only just got this in my as a Valentine's gift from my other half. Yeah, so I got that in February along with some Prismacolors, and so that's why we're using those today. And then what I will be doing is I'm going to, you know, just colour this nameplate page. Now this is for my own hashtag. It's a hashtag that runs wherever you want really, Facebook, or if you just want to email me your pictures if you do them, but primarily it's running on Instagram, and it's my name in colour 2021. But yeah, it's basically to colour the nameplates of your books, so I figured I would do it for this. And as it's a brand new book as well, it'll also count for Lavella's what's it called, Colour Your Hoard. So that's a monthly tag and a yearly tag. So for this one it will be March Colour Your Hoard 2021 hashtag. Bit of a mouthful, but there you go. Yeah, so I've got my eraser. I've also got my pencil sharpener, which I got for Christmas. By the way, I still love this. This was also in my colouring discoveries. Where have I been? I've never had a mechanical pencil sharpener before. Let me tell you, that has not let me down. I've not had a single breakage sharpening since I've got that. So yeah, love it. Anyway, I digress. I got the rubber there ready. Did I say that? Eraser, rubber. Ready for when I inevitably mess something up. So let's get started. As per usual, I've not really thought about what I'm doing. I've just pulled out some pencils. I've still got the rest of the pencils to the side here, so if I want to add in, it's not a problem. But this is like my short list. So let's start with something nice and easy. We'll start with green, and we'll start light. This is Chartreuse PC 989. Should you be interested. I don't know if I'm going to finish this picture in the chat. Possibly not. You know, I'm just going to move this down a little bit. But yeah, let's get going. So the first question, let's do that before I start. Do you have a certain place to colour? Okay, so yes and no. I'm just doing this light one first, and then we build up the colour. Yes and no, I do have a place to colour. My main place to colour is actually at my desk, which is also where I work. So I spend a lot of time at my desk. It's also where I watch my YouTube videos because I have my computer there. So it's where I have my desktop. I'm just going to move them to one side. I should start over here, shouldn't I really? So most of my colouring goes on there. The only trouble with that is it's not the biggest of areas to colour, because as I say, that's where I work as well, and it's got my computer there, and you know, pens and all sorts of stuff. So it's not an art desk by any stretch of the imagination, unfortunately. I would love that. So it's big enough to hold a book this size, maybe a little bit bigger, but when I get further than that, it starts to get a bit of a struggle where I'm moving one thing in order to fit another thing in. It's just like a jigsaw puzzle where I'm just shuffling things around. So if I want to colour something bigger, if I want to do something from Disney Vitralis, for example, which is a massive book, or some of my bigger diamond paintings, or if I want to do a painting by number as opposed to a colour by number, like on a canvas, then I do it here. And this is also where I film, because that's the only place I have space as well. And this is basically my dining room table. So yeah, I do it because there's a window right there. I have no additional lighting, so I work by natural lighting, which is great until it's not great, because like every time a cloud goes by it changes the camera. But yeah, that's why I colour here. And then the last place 80% of my colouring is done at my desk, 10% of my colouring is done here, mostly just when I'm filming, but occasionally if I want to have the extra space. And then the last little bit of colouring that I do have one of those sort of like a lap table, which has an easel thing on it as well. So it's like it's got legs on, so it goes, you know, where you wanted to. You could eat your dinner off of it if you wanted. It's like a TV table, TV tray, TV dinner. What do you ever? I'm wibbling, but it goes across my lap, and then it's also got a proppy up easel type aspect to it as well. So occasionally I will use that if I want to do things while I'm watching TV. I don't often do that. I don't actually watch a whole lot of TV. I'm usually on YouTube when I colour, and you know, so it's just when I'm being sociable, if I want to colour and not watch YouTube, because obviously I don't bother with headphones or stuff if I wanted them. I do have an iPad that I can watch YouTube on, but I prefer on my laptop, on my desktop, because the picture's bigger, and so that would clash with the TV that my other half would like to watch, and he doesn't colour, so yeah, he would have no interest in that. So we kind of sit in our separate rooms for a lot of the time, which is fine. That sounds quite unsociable, but we're only live in a small flat, so we're literally in shouting distance of each other. And so when I'm being especially sociable, I'll come and sit with my lap table and colour while we watch TV. But generally when I watch TV, I actually sit down to just watch TV. I don't actually colour while I'm doing it. The nice thing I like about watching YouTube videos is, like, because it's a chat, and you know, I do glance up and things, but generally speaking I'm not actively watching it. I'm more listening to it. It's my YouTube radio. So yeah, 3 places to colour. 80% of it though is at my work desk. So question 2, what time of day do you feel most inspired? Well, I don't think I have a particular time of day where I'm more likely to do something. I will say that I quite like colouring during the daytime because it's got natural lighting, but you know, we can't always do that. I do have to do some work, unfortunately. What am I going to do? I think I'll just, let's see how this goes first of all. I'll keep working on this because this is where we're going to just put in some shading. So I do have to obviously work, so that's not always an option. Well, in winter, in summer obviously we get it light into the evenings. But but if we're talking generally, like my general living habits as well, I am a night owl. So I can get up in the mornings and I can function, but I'm more in the zone. I'm more active, I should say, like in the night time. So yeah, I would say probably evenings is when I say late afternoon, evenings. So yeah, that's when I'm most likely to do something. I'm just doing this so that just move that out a bit, so that it's not solid. I want it to be sort of on the curves, a bit lighter. Right, so yeah, I guess I'm a night owl, so I will do late-ish colouring, or I'm not averse to it. I'm more likely to do late night colouring than I am to do morning colouring, let's put it that way. I'm definitely not someone who colours before work. Let's leave it at that. Right, question 3. Can you stop mid-picture, or do you have to finish? Well, that was an easy one. I can stop mid-picture. I do stop mid-picture all the time. Even with simple things, like I can start a mandala and just walk away. I can stop a colour by number and then start something else in between. I am very much a mood colourist, which is kind of awkward because I am in a bit of a funny mood at the moment, and that has being reflected. It's funny, it's happened before, so it's not a big deal. I know I'll come back to colouring and enjoy it, and it's not a problem. But for the first time, I've got my channel, and it does mean I've not stepped away from my channel, but I've not been as proactive as I was. So I'm just, it's not a rest exactly, but I've just taken my foot off the pedal a little bit, just to give myself some space to relax, because I'm not hugely in the mood for colouring. I'm getting better, but it's still mostly simple things. I've not been in the mood to do anything remotely thinky, and that's why I've been a bit quiet the last couple of weeks on my channel, just with you know, I've got all these things planned. I've got a nice list planned of things, you know, not tutorials, but how I do things, or I've got requests from people on how I do grayscale, and I've got my Kirby pick that I started in the last tag video, which was the this or that tag. I'll put that up there if you like tag videos. I've actually got a playlist where it's all my colouring chats and also my tag videos, because they are kind of similar. So if you enjoy tag videos and chat videos, then check out that playlist. But yeah, I've still got that Kirby pick to work on. I've still got my dragon picture that I started in my colouring chat. That needs work on. So what am I doing today? Obviously I'm starting something new, and that's how I deal with it. I enjoy starting pictures more than I enjoy finishing pictures, if that makes sense. I do enjoy finishing pictures, don't get me wrong. It's very satisfying, and I do like you know, you see the end result and stuff. But I find it much more fun to start a picture. Consequently, I have no problem starting multiple pictures, and that's quite often how I go throughout the month, and why I get myself sometimes in the pickle with my finished pages, because I have multiple pictures on the go all the way through the month. I'll have buddy colours. I'll be doing 3 buddy colours all at the same time, along with colours that pictures that are my own. And generally speaking, I don't have a problem with that. I'm not scared by whips. I'm not a person that has to can't bear to have a whip on the go. That's definitely not a problem for me. So yes, I can just put something down and just do something else without a second thought. Right. Do you eat or drink while colouring? Yes, I drink. I don't have a problem. I don't have a drink here at the moment, actually. Probably should, because I'll get all croaky. But generally, I don't have a problem with that. I've never spilt a drink on my book. I've not had a drip from a cold drink, which might have condensation or anything like that. I've not had any sorts of accidents like that, and so I've not had any mishaps yet. Isn't that the kiss of death? I'll probably have a complete disaster now. Food wise, I don't eat while I'm colouring. I always set my book to one side because I'm a slob. That all said, I do eat at my desk sometimes because I'm working, so I'll have lunch or a snack or whatever. Oops. Oh, I should have brought my I've got one of those mono erasers that goes in for little details. Should have brought that. I'll tidy that up later. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I do eat at my desk. So if I get crumbs or it gets a bit grubby, then like the backs of my book can sometimes get dirty if it's like that kind of matte thing. So I do try to wipe down my desk on occasion, but I'm a slob. Like I said, I'm a slob. So sometimes it's why I put covers now on some of my books that I know are particularly prone to picking up. All my colouring heavens as well, I always tend to put something down, like a piece of paper down on top of the desktop, and then the colouring heaven book on top, because they have that matte paper and it gets grubby. So whilst I don't actually eat while I'm colouring, there can be still little mishaps. But aside from that, no, I don't. Not even a chocolate or whatever. But I will have a drink. of any type. Be that soft drink, tea, pop, my drink, my soda, if we're going to say it, my fizzy pop drink of choice is Pepsi. I love that raspberry Pepsi. Do you like raspberry Pepsi? I love raspberry Pepsi. Raspberry Pepsi and vanilla Coke are like my two favourite drinks. And then if we're talking alcoholic drinks, then I am, well, I'm a bit of a cocktail girl and also a short, so I like things like Baileys. I like my drinks to be puddings, desserts. It works for me. Anyway, I digress, which is why I do these as a colour chat and not just a tag video. Yeah, so, yeah, do you eat or drink while colouring? The answer is drink. Next question, multitasking, music or TV? So I've kind of already answered this because when I was talking about where I colour, I don't often, I'll just make that dark. I don't often colour while watching TV. I just prefer to watch TV because I get too distracted or I get too focused on this. I'm not very good at multitasking, let's put it that way. And so I tend to listen to YouTube videos when I colour. When I'm actually colouring, it's YouTube videos, never music. I don't know why. I'm not really a music person. I mean, I don't mind it if I'm in a car and there's music on the radio, but I don't really go out. That looks a bit strange. I'm just going to blend that out a bit. I don't really listen to music just at home for some reason. I don't know why. So yeah, TV, I suppose, if you count YouTube as TV, it's basically whenever I watch YouTube, I'm usually colouring. Not always. Sometimes I'm diamond painting. But yeah. Right. What next? Question 6. One picture at a time or multiple? I think I've already kind of answered that as well, where it's like, can you abandon the picture? Because I can abandon a picture mid. Shall we do more leaves? Yeah. Let's go. I'm going to do these as ivy. That's why I've got this cream here, because I thought, you know, ivies never have sort of white. They have that. They go kind of cream. So I thought I would try. I've never actually tried this before, so it could all go horribly wrong. But I'm going to do these kind of as ivies. And we're just going to do this because I have no problem. I think really I need to. I'd probably give up colouring if I had to only do one picture at a time, basically. I don't know if, I've often wondered if I have some sort of ADD or something like that, because I get bored if I do the same thing. So, and the same thing can be very loosely, oh, that was nearly a flower, very loosely applied. I could do a repetitive task. So like diamond painting, I can do diamond painting, or leaves, as long as they're all different. So, and they can all be green, but if they need to be different greens, if I do them all in the same green, get bored. So there's definitely a psychological element to that. But yeah, I get bored. Even if I'm enjoying the picture, I get bored. And I don't know why. So yeah, that's why I always have multiple pictures going on at once. Next question. Do you only colour at home or do you take it on the go? Mostly it's just, it's strictly an at-home thing. There are a couple of exceptions. One, if I go on holiday, you know, vacation, I'll usually take something small like a mandala book, or I'll print out a couple of single page PDFs to take with me that are relatively simple. And that way, if I lose my book or my PDF or it gets damaged or whatever, then I'm not crying any tears because I've not lost anything of, you know, importance. And then I'll also just take something like gel pens, really, because they're really cheap. Maybe some fine liners, something like that. But again, I would never take pencils because you've got to take a sharpener with you. So I ain't got time for that. So do you know what? I think I'll just work in a little bit of this because we want it to be sort of mottled. So I'll take it on holiday with me, especially if it's, you know, when you're in the UK, when we're allowed to go on holidays. My holidays tend to be like 2 weeks, sometimes even 3 weeks. It depends where we're going. If it's Florida, we'll make it a big one because, you know, that you get your most, because the flights are so expensive. We'll just go on like one big holiday in the year for like 3 weeks. And I'll obviously take stuff with me then. And what else? I've once or twice. There was one time, like last year, my mum was in hospital, and you know what hospitals are like. There's a lot of sitting around, and yeah, lots and lots of idle time. So I did take colouring with me then, but that's it. Apart from that, I wouldn't do it for like, oh, I've got half hour waiting for an appointment or something like that. I would never bother with something like that. It'd have to be a sustained amount of time, hours and hours. If I thought I was sitting around for hours, then I would take my colouring with me, but it would always be something really simple and something almost disposable, just in case it all went wrong and I lost it, or I damaged it, or it got left behind on a bus, or, do you know what I mean? So yeah, that most it. Needless to say, we're not going on many holidays at the moment, so it's not leaving the house. So that answers that question. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear it. It's a super windy day today, and I mean mega windy. So if you hear it howling as it hits the window or down the chimney, then that's why. It's not me heavy breathing for once. Okay, so do you try to convince people in your life to start colouring? No. To answer that question, I'm gonna go dark with this. And you know, the closest thing I've come to it is with my other half, and that's because that was his own fault. He made jokes about how he wanted all my supplies. You know, how he wanted to steal them, and how every time I bought something new, it was just like, well, you know, what are you buying me? So in the end, I didn't, to be honest, I didn't really expect him to do it. There's a small part of me that thought possibly, but I was also aware that he was trying to wind me up. So I called his bluff, basically, and one day I just left some colouring books and some pencils and some super tips, and I said, you know, knock yourself out. And then they just sat there on the side, untouched. So yeah, he wasn't interested, and I won because I called his bluff, and I won. Aside from that, no, I've never pushed anybody. I mean, why would I like, if somebody else had if somebody knitted and kept saying to me, go on, you should knit, I don't want to knit. But no, you should, it's really good, I really love it. No, I don't want to knit. So I would never do that to somebody else. If I saw someone doing a hobby and it interested me, I would ask, and I assumed that everybody else would be the same. So yeah, if they was interested, they would ask me how I did something or where I got something. Let's keep with this cream, I think. Maybe we'll work up a little bit more. So yeah, and I don't actually know anybody else who colours. My mum does a little bit, but she's mainly into scrapbooking, so yeah, it's just me. Perhaps that's why I started the channel, just to get some you know, somebody that I could talk to, as opposed to listening to other people on YouTube, which is good. And I did it for a long time, and I still do, obviously. But I obviously didn't talk, and now I talk. So yeah, no, I don't try to persuade anybody else to colour. Right. Do I like how that's gone? Yeah, I think I do. Okay, number 9. Do you go back to look at your old pictures? Yes and no. I often look through my books whenever I'm looking for what to colour, and occasionally I do just, you know, I'm not going to skip past the pictures that I've coloured. Should we do some flowers? What should we do? Let's just do, should we do them as bluebells? Bluebells. Right. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So, you know, I enjoy looking at my pictures. I've been colouring for, well, it'll be coming up to 3 years. Let me just try this. I want to see if it works. Right, okay, maybe a bit further down. So yeah, I have a few pictures, and some of them I'm really, really proud of. But it's rare for me to actually open a book solely for the reason of looking at, yeah, that works, solely to look at a picture that I've coloured. I don't sit there admiring my handiwork, if you know what I mean. If I'm passing, I think, oh yeah, no, I did that, and I liked that, and enjoyed that, and you know, quite often there are memories of the time when, if you're doing something, what's going on in your life. If it's a big picture that's gone on for a while, then you kind of associate it with, you know, even if it's just like a season, you kind of have that memory. And I need to be careful because I'll probably smudge it otherwise. So yeah, I will happily look through my books in general, and I'll flick through and I'll enjoy the artwork in it, and that includes pictures that I've coloured, because I have coloured in most of my books. I'm quite good like that. But it's rare that I'll actually pick up a book solely to reminisce. Yeah, in fact I should do it because it's quite inspiring. I remember last year when I first started my channel, obviously you have little ritual things that you do when you start a channel, and one is to share your colouring book collection, and then you share what you've coloured. Well, I did anyway, and it was quite nice to look through what I'd done. So maybe I should do that. It's a bit soon to do another every page I've ever coloured type thing, but maybe 6 months from now, or an end of a year roundup, then I'll do it, and then I might feel quite inspired. Yeah, so that answers that question. Right, so we only have one more question. If you aren't colouring, what other hobbies do you participate in? Okay, so from a crafting point of view, sort of an arts and craftsy type thing, or you know, that's remotely connected to this, I do diamond painting. I'm just gonna make that a bit smoother. Yeah, so that's probably the only one that I specifically do that's in this sort of realm of hobby. And I do like my diamond painting. I do occasionally do diamond painting things on the channel, and I've got a playlist for that should you be interested. That's dangerous. And right, what should I do? Let's make these orange. Let's make these bright. And what was I saying? Oh, I lost my train of thought there. See, I can't. That's how bad I am at multitasking. It's like, right, what colour should I do it? And then I forget what I was saying. Right, what are my hobbies? Right, so yeah. So I do have a playlist for my diamond painting. I do quite a lot of diamond painting. Oh, well, I'm especially doing a bit of diamond painting at the moment because that's just like how my mood is with not doing complicated things, and you can really zone out with a diamond painting. So I am enjoying a bit of diamond painting at the moment, but and I only started that recently. I think maybe, I don't know, was it August or September when I got some mandala type diamond paintings because I wasn't sure if I'd like them, so I just got some cheapies off of Amazon to try them out, and I've never looked back. So I've yet to splurge on one of those really big ones like a Diamond Art Club or anything. One day I know I will. I toyed with the idea of getting one for myself. Well, say one for myself, making my other half get me one for Christmas, and then I chickened out because they're quite expensive. They're like £30–40 for a single diamond painting, though they're massive. One day I will. And you know, to be fair, those videos do tend to be relatively popular on this channel. I think there are a lot of people like me who colour and diamond paint, or you know, even if they don't like diamond painting, they just enjoy looking at it because you know they're pretty pictures. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you enjoy, if you like diamond painting. I've often thought, not often, that's an exaggeration, I've sometimes thought about doing like a whip and chat with a diamond painting as opposed to a colouring picture. I don't know if that's something people would be okay with though, because this is obviously a colouring channel first and foremost. But I also know that people just like to listen, like I do, that people like to listen in with a video on in the background. So in a way, it's not what's on screen. It's just having a bit of company, isn't it? I suppose. But that's, so yeah, anyway, so that's my hobby in a crafting sense, and in a non-crafty sense, I'm a bit of a geek. I used to play a lot of video games. Now I just do all the things. When you're younger, you don't think twice about sitting down and having a gaming session for like 4 or 5 hours, and you just grow out of that kind of time sink type thing. But I play a game, an online game called World of Warcraft, which is called it's an MMO, which is a massively I can't remember, multiplayer online role-playing game it is, and it's one of these games that lives on a server, computer server, that's running the whole time. So I'm not playing it now, but the game is still going, and there's like thousands and thousands of people will just come on and off, and the world continues while you're offline. So I've been playing World of Warcraft pretty much since launch, so that's like 15 years. Obviously I've got a lot of time sunk into this character. Well, more than one character. I'm going to make that blue, I don't know why. We don't have to follow the rules. You don't get blue middles, but I'm making one. And yeah, so I have a lot of friends there, friends that are all around, you know, from all over, mostly Europe, because they do split the servers, European and American servers and Australian servers. It's a massive game. There are quite often jokes about World of Warcraft, especially in American programs. There was a South Park episode dedicated to it. You know, it's big. Oh look, I should have done them like that, shouldn't I? Let's do them now. So yeah, I do play that, and I am I'm on a server called Argent Dawn, and I play Horde. So should you be familiar with the game for the Horde, by the way, I have an alliance, or there's two factions. There's one that has like orcs, and I don't know, they're not monsters. In theory, aesthetically looking at least, they're evil. It's the good side and the bad side, because the alliance is all sort of night elves and humans and stuff, but it's not like that. I mean, the alliance tend to hate the horde, and the horde hate the alliance in game. You know, from a lore perspective, a story perspective, they are quite often enemies, but they do occasionally work together. But I am horde for life. For the horde. And I play a character which looks like a panda, because, you know, pandas roll. And she is a shaman, which is you can play it as a character that does damage, and you can play it as a character that heals other characters. I play as a healer for the most part. I just forgot that, didn't I? Just blend it out now. Yeah, so I play a healer, and I actually run the guild. There's these things called guilds, which is where you have groups of players that you know, play together, and you know, they're quite often they can be in like real life friends, and then they recruit their friends, and then somebody else will join, or they'll bring their friends. So most people do all know each other, one way or another, and it's a very social environment. And we raid, and raid content is some group content where we all go in, and I really should have brought my brush to brush off the stuff. Yeah, where we go about killing monsters and getting loot. So we are raiding at the moment in the latest expansion, which is called Shadowlands, and we're in Castle Nathria. And should anybody be interested, we're just working on the final boss at the moment. What should I do? I'm going to use this dark one again, even though I know nobody is interested. Actually, I do know there's one or two people who are familiar with World of Warcraft, because they've mentioned it to me on other channels and some of my subscribers. So I know I'm not talking completely bonkers talk to maybe to most of you, but that's actually not that unusual. But yeah, this game is a huge part of my life. That just from the people that I've met there, and you know, there's people in Germany and Holland, Sweden and Norway, and you know, and I've met them in real life because we have meetups. Usually you have a meetup once a year. That's not happened, but yeah, no, it's really good. So it's like it's a gaming version, and they're all, you know, a bit older. They're not. We're all of a similar age. Let's just put it that way. Because we all started playing, a lot of us, around the same time, 15 years ago. So, you know, needs to say, we've all grown up together in that sense. We've all got old together. Yeah. But if you play World of Warcraft, let me know in the comments, and obviously let me know your faction. Let's hear your faction chime. Your yell. There's everybody who's never played World of Warcraft and going, what is she talking about? But if you've played World of Warcraft, you will know what I'm expecting you to say. Make sure you get the right answer. I don't want none of this for the wrong faction. Get it right. Right, so that is the end of the tag. I hope you enjoyed it. You found out that I'm a bit of a geek. You found out that I talk absolute, you know, I just go off on my usual wibbles, answering questions that weren't actually even asked. And yeah, we've been working on this page, and it's gone quite well actually. I considered doing this in gel pen, and I thought, no, I've got these pencils, and it's one of my missions, one of my, what do I call it? Colouring goals, that's the word. one of my colouring goals I wanted for the year, which I'm just going to make that a little bit different, was to use pencils more. So it's good that I've actually used them in here. And I've done most of it. I've just got the butterfly to do. Well, I've got these leaves to do as well, haven't I? Shall I carry on for a bit? I could make this a sort of a bit of a colouring chat-ish. Or not, no. Because I was going to do a colouring chat next week for, what is it called? St. Patrick's Day. Wow, my memory. I'm terrible with names. So I'm going to do I thought I would do a colouring chat for St. Patrick's Day. I'm just going to put a bit of yellow in here as well because I want this to be slightly different from the other leaves. I'll at the end I'll be going over with a white gel pen just to, you know, help separate some of these leaves. But I want this to be not limited palette. No, I do limited palette. Let's do it limited palette. Right. Oh, I've missed out a bit of green there. I'll just do that on the inside. Right, shall I finish these leaves? I'm just going to quickly finish these leaves, and I'm going to do them in the dark ones as well. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to do the down the bottom here in these sort of in the dip. Careful here because I remembered after I started filming that I broke my own rules in that I forgot to put paper behind, so I need to be careful. If I press too hard then the ink will transfer from the back page, which I don't want, because then I'd have to erase it all, and I am quite heavy handed, so we'll just quickly do this, and then I can do the butterfly off camera. If you want to see what it looks like, you'll have to go to Instagram in a day or two. Right, so I'm going to do it with, I'm going to try it with this cream. Ah, look. I'll have to erase it afterwards. I'll have to put my hand in it or something. So I'm just using this cream. Sorry, I started off saying what pencil I was using. That ended. It lasted all of one pencil. But I'm using the cream, which is the PC914. I'll mention at the end all the pencils I used because I've not used many. I quite like how that one went with the cream, so I'm doing it like instead of using white to blend it out, I'm using this cream. It's just a bit softer. And we'll do this way. I'm going to put more down. Oh, it was a bit too light there. When you're blending out, you know, you have to give it some pigment to work with. You can't produce miracles. And what I'm doing is I'm just using this cream to drag down, instead of blending out with a different green, I'm just using the cream to pull out the green that already exists there. So that's what we're doing there. Making them sort of variegated leaves. That's the theory anyway. I'll probably put a pastel background on this as well, just to liven it up a bit. I won't be writing my name in. I never write my name in. I keep meaning to get some stickers or a stencil. I never do. Okay, one more. Let's just finish these leaves. And how shall I do that? Let's go with the... Okay, I'll go with this. This is the apple green 912. Sorry if you can hear the kids, they've just come out on lunch break and they are out of lockdown. It started, hopefully. The kids have gone back to school this week and I do live opposite school, so yeah, they're all out there playing football. And sounding like sometimes like they're being murdered. If the screams are anything to go by, really it's just them scoring a goal. And I'll just do in here. We'll be blending this out again as well. But this time I'm going to use the chartreuse. I love chartreuse. It's one of my favourite greens. I haven't used Prismas in forever, so I'm a bit out of practice as well with the because obviously being so waxy, they do you use a different technique for them than you would with other pencils, because they blend differently because they just merge together so easily. Fortunately, they're fairly easy. I'll just go in here. But yes. Probably not going to go down as I'm just going to put a bit there, I missed a bit. Go down as one of my finest works of art, but it's alright. It's alright. Right, so I've just got the butterfly to do, and then, as I say, I will put in a chalk pastel background on that, so expect to see that pop up on Instagram. If you follow me there, I do link down in the description below my Instagram account, so if you're on Instagram, come over and check me out, come and follow me. And yeah, I'll also leave links to this book, Ivy, where you can get it should you be interested. I'm sure most people have. So I'll just go through quickly the pencils I use. So I use, these are Prismacolor Premiers, so this is chartreuse. Even I can't see that with light. PC 989. And the mid green I used was the apple green 912. I used olive green, which is 911. Then the cream was 914, and then I used a bit of canary yellow 916, and then so that was for the light yellow there, and then for the darker, well, I used Spanish orange, which is 1003. And the blue flowers, I used China Blue, which was PC 1100. And then the last one I used, which I just used to blend out, was the piece, this is just white, PC 938. So those are the pencils I used. I might do the butterfly in glitter gel pen. I have to make up my mind, because obviously the butterfly appears throughout the book, and I need to make up my mind whether I want it to always look the same. He doesn't have to be. He's a magical butterfly. He can change colours like a chameleon, but we'll see. Anyway, I hope... Oh, look, I knew I would... Did I put my hand in that? I bet I did. Or just... That never happened. It's fine. Nobody will notice. Especially... This is why I put backgrounds on. Just to make sure. Right, so... I am going to tag... If you're still here, give me a thumbs up, by the way, because... Result... But yes, if you would like to subscribe to the channel as well, that's probably a good time for me to say that. Don't forget to hit the bell, and yeah, I would love to have you around. And I'm going to tag Heidi Hornsby and also Colouring with Pat and Wilson. I don't think either of those two ladies have been tagged. I'll leave links to their channels down below as well. If you don't feel like doing it, that's absolutely okay, don't worry. If you do feel like doing this tag and you've not done it, it's quite an old tag, so I know a lot of people have done it. But if you haven't been tagged and you want to be tagged, tell me, or just consider this your tag. Absolutely, I would love to see you do this tag because I do enjoy these. It's basically a colour and chat, but with a bit of a theme. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. As I say, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And yeah, hope you have a great day. Take care and see you again soon. Bye for now. Bye.